Imagine this. You're at a family dinner. Everyone's laughing, sharing stories, and passing around delicious food. But here's the catch. What if some of those dishes, though comforting and familiar, are actually quietly stealing years from your life? Shocking, right? Food is more than fuel. It's memory, tradition, comfort. But for seniors, the wrong food can be like hidden quicksand, drawing energy, straining the heart, and fogging the mind. Today, we're diving into 10 foods older adults should avoid. And I promise, by the end, you'll never look at your plate the same way again. Because aging gracefully isn't just about counting birthdays. It's about keeping your body light, your mind sharp, and your spirit joyful. And food, yes, the food you choose daily, plays the lead role. So grab your tea, sit back, and let's talk honestly, like friends, about the foods that could be holding you back. And don't worry, this isn't a doom and gloom lecture. Think of it more like cleaning out your closet, making space for better, healthier things that help you shine. 1. Sugary drinks. The sweet trap. Approximately 350 words. Think back to a hot summer's day. You crack open a can of soda, hear that fizz? Take a sip of sweetness that feels like happiness in liquid form. That nostalgia is real, but so is the damage. For seniors, sugary drinks are one of the most deceptive traps out there. Sodas, sweetened teas, energy drinks, even many bottled fruit juices. They're loaded with sugar. When you drink them, your blood sugar spikes rapidly, then crashes. That's why you feel a burst of energy followed by exhaustion. For older adults, these roller coasters are dangerous. They increase the risk of type 2 diabetes, weaken bones by pulling calcium, and even harm memory. Research has linked high sugar intake to dementia. Your body, at this stage of life, is like a classic car. It doesn't need quick bursts of cheap fuel. It needs steady, clean energy to keep running smoothly. Sugary drinks are like pouring syrup into the gas tank. Sticky, damaging, and ultimately destructive. I worked with a gentleman in his 70s who swore he couldn't start his morning without a cola. By noon, he was always drained. We swapped his soda for sparkling water with lemon and mint. Within weeks, he told me, I didn't realize I could feel this clear. I thought being tired was just aging. It wasn't. It was the sugar. So, what to do instead? Water should be your best friend. But if plain water feels boring, infuse it with cucumber, berries, or herbs. Herbal teas are soothing, green tea gives a gentle lift, and sparkling water adds that fizz without the crash. Sugary drinks might seem harmless, even joyful. But over time, they're silent thieves of energy, bone strength, and brain clarity. Ditch the trap and give your body the hydration it deserves. 2. Processed meats, the salty villains. Let's walk into a classic breakfast scene. Bacon sizzling in the pan, sausages browning, maybe a slice of ham tucked into a sandwich. The aroma feels comforting, even nostalgic. But here's the truth. Processed meats are wolves in sheep's clothing. Bacon, hot dogs, ham, deli slices. These are preserved with nitrates and packed with sodium. The World Health Organization has even classified processed meats as carcinogenic. For seniors, that's especially concerning. High sodium pushes blood pressure up, straining both heart and kidneys. Nitrates increase cancer risks, and the saturated fat contributes to clogged arteries. Think of your body's arteries like flexible garden hoses. Too much sodium and fat stiffen those hoses, narrowing the passage. Over time, blood struggles to flow freely, and the heart has to work harder. It's like forcing water through a clogged pipe. I once worked with an 82-year-old retired teacher who adored salami sandwiches. She told me, I can't imagine lunch without it. But her blood pressure was climbing. We swapped in lean grilled chicken breast slices, sometimes roasted turkey or even hummus with veggies. Within months, her doctor reduced her medication. She laughed. Turns out I didn't miss salami. I missed feeling this good. The key isn't deprivation, it's substitution. Instead of bacon, try avocado toast with seeds. Instead of hot dogs, enjoy grilled salmon or lentil patties. Instead of deli ham, go for roasted chicken or turkey slices. Processed meats promise convenience and flavor, but what they actually deliver is silent damage to your heart, kidneys, and long-term health. By letting them go, you're not losing joy. You're gaining freedom, strength, and years of vitality. 3. Deep-fried foods. Crispy but costly. Imagine the crunch of fried chicken, the golden coating, the satisfying sound when you bite in. That crunch feels like happiness, doesn't it? But inside that golden armor hides a problem. Fried foods are loaded with trans fats and oxidized oils, two enemies of the aging body. Every time you eat fried food, chicken wings, French fries, onion rings, you're putting more strain on your arteries. The oils used in deep frying are often reheated many times, becoming unstable. These unstable fats cause inflammation, the root of so many age-related diseases. Arthritis, heart disease, even Alzheimer's. Think of your body as a fireplace. Inflammation is like tiny sparks flying around. One or two might not matter, but keep adding sparks, and sooner or later, the whole house catches fire. Fried foods are sparks in disguise. I once met a lively 76-year-old who loved fast food fried chicken. He said it reminded him of his youth, but his cholesterol levels were skyrocketing. We tried an experiment, baking chicken with herbs and olive oil instead. He called me a month later, laughing. I still get my crunch, but now I don't feel heavy after meals. Alternatives are simple. Use an air fryer to mimic crispiness with little oil. Roast veggies like sweet potatoes or cauliflower until they caramelize. Try oven-baked fish with breadcrumbs for that satisfying bite. The goal isn't to remove joy, it's to reclaim it without the cost. Fried food gives a moment of crunch, but steals years of vitality. When you trade the fryer for the oven, you're not just making a healthy choice. You're choosing freedom from inflammation, and that means more days of walking, laughing, and living fully. 4. White bread and refined carbs. Empty promises. Picture a warm loaf of white bread, soft and fluffy, or a steaming plate of white pasta. These foods feel comforting, but comfort doesn't always equal nourishment. White bread and refined carbs are like balloons. They look big, but inside, they're empty. When grains are refined, the fiber and nutrients are stripped away, leaving only starch. Your body quickly turns that starch into sugar, spiking blood sugar levels. For seniors, this is especially dangerous because it fuels diabetes, drains energy, and weakens digestion. Without fiber, food moves sluggishly through the gut, leading to constipation, a problem many older adults already battle. Imagine your body's energy like a steady river. Whole grains keep the river flowing smoothly. Refined carb? They're like sudden rainstorms, fast, overwhelming, then gone, leaving mud and mess behind. I remember one grandmother who loved her morning toast with white bread. She always felt sleepy mid-morning. When we swapped her bread for whole grain rye, she told me, "I feel full longer, and I don't need my second cup of coffee." Small swaps, big difference. Better choices include oats, quinoa, brown rice, whole grain bread, or even sourdough with natural fermentation. These not only keep blood sugar steady, but also support gut health and provide vitamins stripped from white flour. White bread may look innocent, but it's a false friend. By choosing whole grains, you're choosing steady energy, better digestion, and a stronger heart. That's not just food, it's fuel for freedom. 5. Excessive salt. The silent saboteur. Salt is tricky. A little enhances flavor, but too much is like poison in slow motion. For seniors, Excess salt is one of the most silent yet dangerous saboteurs. Think of it, the average processed meal, soups, canned beans, frozen dinners, hides mountains of sodium. Even bread and breakfast cereal sneak it in. All that sodium forces the body to hold on to water, raising blood pressure. For an older heart, it's like carrying extra weight with every beat. I once knew an 80-year-old man who loved canned soups. He thought they were convenient. But his ankles were always swollen, and his doctor warned of heart failure risk. Once he switched to homemade vegetable soup with herbs and just a pinch of salt. His swelling reduced, and his energy returned. Your body is like a garden. Too much salt is like overwatering. It drowns the roots, weakens the foundation. That's what sodium does to your organs. So how to cut down? Replace salt with fresh herbs, garlic, ginger, lemon juice, or even spices like cumin and paprika. If you use packaged foods, always check labels. Aim for low sodium or less than 140 milligrams per serving. Salt isn't evil in itself. It's the excess that harms. By taming it, you protect your heart, kidneys, and brain. A small change in the kitchen means fewer pills, fewer hospital visits, and more days of freedom. 6. Sweets and pastries. The hidden energy thieves. Walk past a bakery window, golden croissants, frosted donuts, cupcakes with sprinkles. They whisper promises of comfort and joy. But those sweets, they're thieves in disguise. Pastries are loaded with refined sugar and unhealthy fats. They give a quick high, then a sharp crash. For seniors, that means more fatigue, mood swings, and higher risk of diabetes. Worse, sugar feeds inflammation, speeding up aging inside the brain. Studies even link excess sugar to memory decline and Alzheimer's risk. Think of your body like a battery. Sugar drains it quickly. Instead of lasting energy, you're left recharging constantly. Except the battery itself gets weaker. I worked with a 70-year-old woman who loved having cookies with tea. She noticed she'd forget small things more often. When she cut down sugar and replaced it with fruit and nuts, she said, "My mind feels sharper. I didn't know dessert could blur my memory." Better swaps? Try fresh fruit with yogurt, dark chocolate with almonds, or baked apples with cinnamon. These satisfy the sweet tooth without draining your energy. Desserts should be treats, not daily fuel. By reducing pastries, you're not losing joy. You're regaining mental clarity and energy. Imagine trading one donut for one more vivid memory. That's the real sweetness. 7. Alcohol. The aging accelerator. Alcohol is often seen as harmless, a glass of wine with dinner, a beer while watching the game. But for seniors, alcohol accelerates aging in ways that aren't always obvious. First, the liver processes alcohol more slowly with age, meaning toxins stay longer. Alcohol also weakens balance, increasing fall risk, a dangerous problem for fragile bones. It interacts badly with common medications, from blood pressure pills to painkillers, and it clouds memory, raising dementia risk. Think of alcohol like sand in an engine. At first, you may not notice, but over time, it grinds down the gears. For the aging body, even small amounts can cause big problems. I once counseled a 78-year-old man who loved his nightly whiskey. His memory lapses were worsening, and his sleep was poor. When he replaced it with chamomile tea, he said, "I didn't realize how much better I could sleep. I thought waking up at night was normal." Alternatives: sparkling water with lime, non-alcoholic wines, or herbal teas. Social rituals matter, but you can keep the joy without the damage. Alcohol may feel like relaxation, but in truth, it accelerates decline. By stepping back, you give your brain, liver, and bones the gift of resilience. 8. Packaged snacks and fast food, the convenience trap. Late night, you're hungry. It's easy to grab chips, cookies, or a fast food burger. Convenience feels like a blessing, but it comes with a curse. Packaged snacks are full of salt, sugar, and additives. Fast food piles on calories with little nutrition. For seniors, that leads to weight gain, heart strain, and sluggish energy. These foods also cause cravings, keeping you stuck in a cycle. Think of your body like a house. Packaged snacks are like cheap repairs. They cover problems temporarily but weaken the structure long-term. I met an older couple who lived on frozen pizza and chips. They said cooking felt exhausting, but when they tried meal prepping simple foods, boiled eggs, chopped veggies, grilled chicken, they realized it was just as easy to grab those as chips. Within weeks, they felt lighter and more active. Convenience doesn't have to mean unhealthy. Keep nuts, fresh fruit, whole grain crackers, or yogurt ready. With a little planning, healthy choices can be just as quick. Fast food and packaged snacks pretend to save time, but in reality, they steal years. True convenience is waking up with energy, walking without pain, and staying independent longer. 9. Conclusion: empowering choice. We've walked through the 9 foods seniors should avoid: sugary drinks, processed meats, fried foods, white bread, excess salt, pastries, alcohol, packaged snacks, and fast food. Each one promises joy, comfort, or convenience. But behind the curtain, they steal energy, memory, and years of vitality. But here's the beautiful truth. You have a choice. Every trip to the kitchen is a chance to nourish your body. Every meal is a vote for more energy, sharper memory, stronger bones, and longer independence. I want you to picture this: an elderly couple, cooking together in a sunlit kitchen, laughter filling the room, fresh vegetables on the counter. That's not just an image, it's a reality within reach. By choosing whole, colorful, nourishing foods, you choose life in its fullest sense. So, let me ask you, which food on today's list do you struggle most to give up? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. And if this video helped, hit like, subscribe, and share it with a loved one. Remember this quote: growing older is inevitable. Growing healthier is a choice. Choose health, choose vitality, choose freedom, because the best years of your life, they can still be ahead of you.